What is up, jokesters? This is your big homie Jokesta back at it with a brand new Game Sense series, and today we're going to be talking about playing passively. Last Game Sense video we talked about playing aggressively, and it's because it's something I know how to play well. It's one of my greatest strengths in the game, by the way. But when it comes to playing passive, I had to actually slow it down, and I needed to learn a lot to understand why it's so important. Here's a list of things that I'm going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be talking about balance. We're going to be talking about playing passive, play styles, all that kind of good stuff. We will talk about the 2-kill rule, which is I'll explain a little later in the video. And then we're going to be talking about using your teammates, like baiting them. We're going to talk about baiting. We're going to talk about perks, weapons. We're also going to talk about the field of view and positioning yourself to win gunfights. And most importantly, how you guys can protect yourself using Surfshark. So before we get into it, I want to thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video. Privacy is one of the most important things users of the internet spend a lot of their time trying to retain. In the ocean of online content, there's a lot of websites and little crabs that take your info without you even knowing it. But trust me, you can swim under the radar using Surfshark VPN, and this way you can stop website from tracking your info and selling targeted ads to you. Nothing is creepier than when you have a conversation with someone about something and then it pops up in your ads. Plus, Surfshark Alerts ID protection, you get an alert when someone's trying to break into your email. But one of my favorite features of Surfshark is that you can see online content not available in your area. So how many times have you tried to watch a new season of whale migrations and the video's blocked? Well, for me, and too many times to count. Not anymore though. Just log in to Surfshark and you can get access to the videos that aren't normally available to you. So if you want both protection and freedom online, click the link in the description below and use the code Jokesta. It's not only gives you a whopping 84% off the regular price, but also a 4 months of service, totally free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money back, guaranteed. So there's no risk and you try it out for yourself. Anyways, thank you Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Balance. Call of Duty Mobile is such an amazing game. There's 4 game modes as of right now, and one mode is TDM, which is all about which teams can get the most kills. Sometimes at the very end of the game, both teams just camp it out so hard. They pray that their teammates don't rush out and try to get the kill, because they end up losing when they do that. But it's a very slow paced game mode, and which is good for practicing your passive playstyle, but we're not going to be going over TDM as much. We're going to talk about domination. This is a lot of people like to play domination, and domination is a very fast paced game mode, and there's just so much information flying by. Everyone is trying to capture the points, and if you think about it, no one expects you to play slow. Everyone is playing aggressive, everyone's pushing hard to get the zones. But if you can take a moment and think for a second during all the crazy chaos and slow it down completely, checking your corners and taking a slower approach to things, the first thing that would happen is that you're going to get more kills and less death for sure. The second thing is that you might lose the match, and it's because you're playing way too slow. So you can cause a team the game and they all push to capture the zone, but you weren't there to save them. So at this point, you need to find a balance, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But we're going to talk about Hardpoint. Hardpoint is another crazy pace game as well, and everyone is rushing and trying to get kills. But then again, if you can slow it down and start picking players off, you will have better results in this game mode. Then lastly, we have Search and Destroy, which is a very slow paced game mode where everyone is just camping, where the tables turn. Every ranked games or scrims, everyone plays this slowly, but they don't expect you, or they don't expect a team to just play extremely aggressive. That's something that I've learned. If you play passive in a fast-paced game mode, you might lose the game because you weren't there to help your team. But if you play aggressive in Search and Destroy, there's a risk you die and you end up costing the game. So that is why I call it a balance. It would be best if you can balance things out, and that's what we'll be talking about today. when you take this passive playstyle or aggressive playstyle, you need to understand what you can completely change the game. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. I'm going to teach you the balance on how you guys can actually balance this out. When you take this passive playstyle or aggressive playstyle, you need to understand that what you can do will completely change the game. Now that you guys kind of understand what balance is, let me give you an idea of what weapons to use for this style. Weapons. Using the M4 or the ICR is a good choice for a passive player. They both got good range, and the recoil for the guns is easy to control. There's other assault weapons to use like the BK-57, Man of War, ASM-10, yada yada yada. They do great damage as well. It would help if you rock something that would be good for long range. The whole goal here is to make sure they can't touch you. That's the whole thing. Like when you're using a weapon, they can't touch you. That's your main objective when you're using this weapon or anything, is that you have that range, because close range it's not that good. So you need to keep them distance. They will come at you with submachine guns. Your job as a passive player is to make sure they don't touch you at all and push them off you. My second choice of weapon for you guys is a sniper rifle. It's your personal choice on what sniper to use. Those snipers are good for picking off players at long range and good for covering your teammates. So I highly recommend getting some sniper training going. I've seen a lot of snipers in the game that play passively aggressive. This is a very good way you can actually see there's a lot of good snipers out there, and they're not just sitting in the back and camping. They're actually playing along with their teams, and we're going to talk about that in a bit on this video. We're going to talk about like how these passive snipers actually get these kills. They got range, but it's a 50-50 chance for snipers to get, a kill. If they miss their shot, they're dead, so that's like if they're up close though. Like if you're up close with against a sniper, he has a 50-50 chance of hitting you, or you are gonna kill him. Now we're gonna be talking about perks, another key element for your passive playstyle. It would help if you weren't running lightweight, because that is mostly for aggressive players. What you're looking for is something that would be for defense. I would recommend taking a look at these red perks that are good for passive playstyles. So number one we have is fast recovery. Fast recover. This perk can actually help you recover fast if you get shot a few times. Just prone right underneath a spot after getting hit. This will help you recover your health. All right, number two is persistence, another perk that can help you save your streaks. I would recommend this bad boy whenever you decide to relax and camp back, because sometimes you're gonna get flanked and someone's gonna kill you and your streak is gone. Now, as much as I hate persistence, this is definitely gonna help out. Number three is flat jacket, and flat jacket is also a very nice backup just in case your trophies get destroyed. Also, you can throw the enemy grenades back, because on this perk it says that it will reset time when thrown back. So sometimes when you try to throw a grenade right back, this perk actually resets the time for the grenade, and actually you can throw grenades back. So that is actually pretty nice. But what I've noticed is in this game, a lot of things that people use is Molotovs and termites. So at this point, is it really worth it? Is it really worth throwing grenades back? Anyways, let's talk about the green perks that you guys can use. Number one we have here is cold-blooded, which is useful if the enemy has some kind of score streak going on. If you're not like, you're like a rookie and you're kind of like trying to camp a little bit, trying to play passive, and it's kind of hard. Well, cold-blooded will hide you from those score streaks. Like unless they have a VTOL, then yeah, you're kind of screwed at this point. But if it's like a helicopter or something, or like a sentry gun, this is cold-blooded is going to help you survive that. Number two is Ghost. Ghost is another perk that I recommend to run. I like running Ghost a lot. A lot of times my teammates would just run blindly and die, and feeding the enemy a nice juicy UAV, which is why they use the UAV up in the air, and then you're gonna be spotted all the time. So it's like your teammates are the reason that they got the UAV, and this is why I use the Ghost perk when it comes in handy. All right, now the third perk is that I recommend is Toughness. Is the last recommended for the green perks. This perk is alright. It's not that bad. It just reduces the being shot by 60% at the first. That's about it. All right, now the blue perks. I highly recommend you guys use Dead Silent. I honestly think this perk is amazing. Many ranked players have headphones on and they listen to footsteps, so having this on is a great plus. Number two is the alert. Alert is also a great perk to have on for passive playstyle, because alert gives you an alert when someone actually comes close to you. So this perk kind of helps out a lot. If there's some noobs trying to sneak up on you, you can kind of see where they're at. So that's kind of nice. Now hardline is the last blue perk. This perk can help you get your score streaks faster. Every kill is giving you an extra 25%, so this can help you out greatly on getting your VTOL or whatever score streak you have. This is going to help out a lot. Let's talk about the FOV, which stands for field of view, and what you need to know is how you see your screen. This might not be applied to everyone. It just depends on which device you're playing on. This is kind of mostly for phone players that can use this tip. For the iPad players, you guys are running at 75 FOV, which is the max at the moment, and that's what 99% of the pro players are using right now. But for the phone players, there's stuff out there for you guys. I know. I've been struggling for a while to find my FOV for my phone screen size as well. Well, I finally found mine to be at 60, which provides a very good visual of my targets. Sometimes I switch towards 75 and I realize a problem. Here's the problem running over anything over 60 FOV, which to like 75, right? The screen is so wide. You can't see your targets well, and the enemy is hard to hit. So at this point, you got to find a balance between 50 and 70, and that's why I picked like 60 for myself, because I can hit my targets and I can see the wide views as well. Now, good way to explain this FOV thing is the tree method. All right, so when you're using the 75 and you're playing against a player, right, you're gonna try to shoot them down, and it's gonna be really, really difficult to hit the targets, because at this point you're hitting like a stick, you know, like a really, really like thin stick, like a branch or something, right? You're trying to hit a branch at this point. So when you bump it up to like 60 or like 55, you're hitting a tree. You know, that's what I'm trying to say, is that like you're not hitting a stick at this point, you're actually hitting a tree. It's going to be a lot easier for your eyes, and you can actually see your targets. So that's why you got to find that balance. You got to be right in the middle, like something buttery smooth, right in the middle, centered piece right there. So that's why I recommend 60. Sometimes I go up to like 62, but that's like because I've been playing so long for 60. So I'm like, okay, let me try 62 a little bit, and then I drop it to 60. So it's like a little bump up. Sometimes I drop it, but that's just my advice. You know, just think about it when you're playing next time. This is going to help out a little bit. All right, let's move on to passive playstyle. All right, passive playstyle, step number 1 is slowing down your gameplay. Don't rush things off the bat. Take a chill pill, relax. You need to be in a very, very slow state of mind. Taking your time to learn what the enemy is doing, and are they aggressive? Are they playing back and picking off your team? That's what you got to do. You got to, step 1 is you slow everything down. When you're getting in the game, slow it down. Take your time. Drink some coffee or something, you know? Just relax. Step number 2 is a 2-kill rule. Okay, and I'm going to explain it. Every map has a place where you guys can start picking players off. So what I suggest is you're going to those part of the map and start trying to pick off players off. Like don't go straight into the capturing zone or into the Hornets nets and trying to get 4 kills and die right away. That's not the whole point of this theory. You need to find a spot, take out at least 2 players, and then rotate out of there. After getting those 2 kills, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna be like that guy that you are trying to kill because he killed you, and you're gonna need that revenge inside of you. So because if I die, I know that there's a camper over there, and I'm going to go over there and kill him and bat him and do whatever. So make sure you guys rotate out every 2 kills. So just from one position, move to another position, rotate, just continue rotating, get 2 kills, rotate to another spot. So step number 3 is using your teammates. What I mean by that is that when you are with a teammate, you need to cover him. Otherwise, we won't have a balance. And as we talked about earlier, that if you play too slow, you're going to lose the game because of the balance. So you need to start covering your teammates, walk along with them, rush towards whatever, right? But you need to be very passive, okay? Passive aggressive. So the best thing to do is to cover your teammate as much as you can, go along with the teammates, because This is going to help you build that relationship with your team, number one. Number two, you're not going to ruin your score streaks, and that's what you need. You need to build your score streaks. Step number 4 is using your utilities. I cannot stress this enough. When you're playing passive, it would be best if you had some trophies. They protect you from incoming grenades, and I suggest you use some trip mines as well. You know, placing a trip mine by the doorway or somewhere you think they will come from is the best way to know that they're close by. All right, but once you master that, this is something that you can use to your advantage. This is a little bit harder tip, and it's kind of a harder advanced kind of thing. So pretend that your teammates are like the camping spots, like a little position to, you know, go through. So instead of like a red room, right? Red room or laundry room, pretend that your teammates are the laundry room or the red room, right? Pretend that they're that, right? And just go along with them. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you can use them as your camping position, right? So it's kind of a harder thing to do because it's like a rotating room from a different side of the spots, and it's kind of hard. It's hard, but if you can master that, then you're kind of like winning here, because this is what I see a lot of times snipers do in a competitive field and scrims. They usually use their teammates as this little camping spot. You know, they're like a building or something, right? But that's what they do. So this is something that you need to understand and use to your advantage. Step number 6 is positioning yourself to win in gunfights. What I mean by that is just make sure you aren't out in the open by yourself, okay? Just start positioning yourself to win those fights. Always hug the walls, check things before you go out. It's that simple. No need to explain any further on that. Just play smart, player. Just be a smart player, don't die dumb, all right? And step number 7 is using the perk called alert. Alert also helps out a lot. It lets you know that someone's close by, and it gives you like an alert saying like, hey, there's some guy right next to you. Be alert, you know? And that way you can actually know where they're coming from. So it's a really good position alerting thing, okay? So let me know what next topic I should actually cover for the Game Sense series. Are you struggling with something? Comment down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe icon and the bell to get alerted whenever I upload a brand new video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.